He was a generational talent from Dunbar out of Maryland. Came to West Virginia under the Dana Holgerson era and became one of, if not the greatest skill players in college football history. Underutilized in the NFL, but still had his moments. We're saying goodbye to Tavon Austin today on the field. One of the greatest talents in history. Somebody that we will always remember as West Virginia fans as an electrifying joystick of a player that gave it his all and gave us his all. Memorable performance against Oklahoma in the Orange Bowl and many, many others. I can name them off. Texas, Iowa State. Everybody was his, right? I bleeped myself. And we're going to miss seeing him on the field. Retiring at a fairly young age at 34, 35 years old. He was born in 1990, so that makes him around 34. I'm going to say more about that here in a minute, but we have to thank the channel sponsor first. We're rebranding the channel, guys. This is not going to be hoops only from here on out. Locked On West Virginia, where I'll be taking over, and that'll be Mountaineer Paul Talks Football. It'll be on that channel. We're going to be converting this into something else altogether. We're going to be talking about that too. Stay tuned. Right after this word from our sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Magic Shine Auto Spa and Tint in Morgantown, West Virginia. At Magic Shine, your vehicle's care is their top priority. They use only the highest quality products to ensure your car not only looks its best, but is also protected and maintained with the utmost care. From window tinting with top-of-the-line Max Pro tint to protective ceramic coatings from Diamond Protect, they've got you covered. Drive in today and experience the difference at Magic Shine Auto Spa and Tint, where your car shines like new. And don't forget to shine on, Morgantown. What is up? Welcome in, guys. My name is Mountaineer Paul, and this is another edition of I Don't Know. We're going to rebrand it. It's going to be fun, right? We're going to do it on a whim. Really love Hoops with Hills. I love this logo. I have a website that I haven't even been using here lately in West Virginia Insiders because of how busy I've been. So I thought about calling this show West Virginia Insiders. That's not a bad name, but I want your all's opinions. Give me some names for a show. What should I do? Should I do Big 12 coverage? Should I do all the football coverage? Should I include the NFL? I mean, I could go literally any direction with this. I could play video games on this channel. There's so many different things I could do on this channel. Mountaineer Paul being separate from this. The only thing I cannot do is have a competing morning show about West Virginia sports that's 30 minutes long. I can still talk about West Virginia. I can still talk about the Big 12. It just can't be in that competing spot in the morning time. So give me some ideas. And while you're thinking about that, let's talk about today's subject, which plug this back in. Okay, so while you guys think about that, I'm going to read off Tavon's Wikipedia page here and just kind of, go a little bit of an oral history while I'm reading it. And, I'll just share the screen so you can read it too. All right. So, Tavon Wesley Austin does not listen. I did not see that being his middle name. Not laughing at you, Tavon. All right, Tavon Wesley Austin, born March 15th, 1990, is a former. Wow, they've already got former in there. They're pretty quick with it. American football wide receiver. Big college football for West Virginia Mountaineers, receiving first-team All-American honors twice and was selected by the St. Louis Rams in the first round, 8th overall, 2013 NFL draft. Remember it like it was yesterday. I was so happy. And he had to go to the worst coach. Jeff Fisher, if you're out there, in my opinion, you helped ruin this guy's career. And why couldn't he have went to Andy Reid? Why couldn't he have gone to somebody like or Bill Callahan? Anybody else? But he had to go to I don't know what Jeff Fisher thought he was going to use it for. That's the side to all of this. He was born in Baltimore, Maryland. Shout out Baltimore. He attended Dunbar High School. I watched his high school. By the way, his high school highlight tape is just almost as good as his college, where he played football, basketball, and ran track. In football, he played running back, leading Dunbar to 3 consecutive Class 1A state titles. As a senior, he had 2,660 yards rushing on 218 carries with 34 touchdowns, while also returning 12 punts for 446 yards and 2 scores. He was a 2-time Maryland Consistent Offensive Player of the Year and a Consistent First Team All-State guy. He set state records for points, touchdowns, offensive yards, rushing yards, track and field. He was a sprinter and jumper. Ran a career best time 11.47 in the 100 meters at the 2009 1A North Region meet. And he was a member of the Dunbar 400-meter relay squad. So track wasn't exactly his. He wasn't going to make it far in track. 11.47 is good. It's good in college, but it's not Olympic. He definitely did a good job playing football, where he was much faster on the football field. He accepted a football scholarship from West Virginia University, where he played for the Mountaineers from 9 to 12. His primary position changed to wide receiver as a freshman in 2009. But he still occasionally was used as a running back. During his freshman season, he had 15 receptions for 151 yards and a touchdown, and rushed for 47 yards on 6 carries with a touchdown, and scored a touchdown on a kick return. Sophomore 2010, he had 58 catches for 787 yards and a team-leading 8 touchdowns. He also had 15 rushing attempts for 159 yards and a touchdown. Can you imagine what it would have been like had the portal been open after his 2011 year? After the 2011 year, let's say the portal was open. As a junior in 2011, Austin had 100 receptions. You don't even see that anymore. For 1,180 yards in college and 8 touchdowns, added 189 yards and 18 carries, another touchdown on the ground. Returned 2 kicks for touchdowns. Was named the first-team All-American by CBS Sports during the Mountaineers' 70-33 win. In the 2012 Orange Bowl, he set an Orange Bowl record with 4 touchdown receptions. As a senior in 2012, he topped that with 114 receptions for 1,289 yards and 12 touchdowns to go along with 643 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns. In addition, he had 32 kick returns for 813 yards and a kick return touchdown on 15 punt returns, 165, and another touchdown. The game against Oklahoma, which you probably seen a bunch of highlights on today, he had 572 yards in one game. Insane, guys. 344 rushing, 82 receiving, an additional 146 on kick return. Despite his efforts, West Virginia would lose the game in the final seconds, 50-49. I'll never forget that either. He was the 2012 All-Purpose Performer of the Year, as announced by College Football Performance World Association. This is during a time period, if you're not a West Virginia fan, by the way, where Tavon and Stedman Bailey, either one could have won the Blitnikoff Award. Stedman Bailey had 21 touchdowns or 23. I have to look it up. I was in the 20s in a season and didn't even get sniffed for the award. I think he was top 3 or top 4. I can't remember. But the duo of Tevin and Stedman is, production-wise, it is up there with any in college history. It really is. This is where, unfortunately, he was not used correctly, in my opinion, in the NFL. And I'm not going to read through all this, but he had some bright moments, especially on special teams. Unfortunately, though, playing for Fisher, it was really a bad thing for him. Well, then there was injuries. I mean, he was there look at that. He was there all the way until 2018. And Tavon was never going to be a guy that would have a 15, 20-year career. His body size probably was going to make that really hard to do. I wouldn't ever doubt him in any way. But just generally speaking, guys with his build don't really last, as long as some of the bigger guys. So, his career was pretty much over by here, the 18 season, when he went to Dallas. So, for a West Virginia fan, that I thought he was going to be a Hall of Famer coming out of college, and I think a lot of us did. He had it was a pretty, I don't want to say disappointing, but, it wasn't what I expected it was going to be, unfortunately. So What's up, Jada K? What's up, Timothy Green, Jacob Yoho, Jonathan Palmer, Greg Adams? Thank you guys for all being here. Really appreciate your time. Let's see. Don't forget, guys, that super chat button's open if you want to help out the show. Also, if you're watching this, go ahead and hit that like button while you're here, and don't forget to subscribe. So, Tavon Austin, he's gone but not forgotten. He's not passed away or anything like that. If we go over here to X, which I'm going to do now, he's had a ton of just well wishes today on X. I mean, he probably was trending at some point. Barstool Sports has got in honor of him retiring. Oh, the greatest highlight video in football history right here. Duggity dog. Doug Cross, one of the greatest West Virginians ever, and he's still doing videos, guys. He just started again. He just did the Garrett Green video. But if you've never seen this video, go watch it because it's the greatest of all time. Let's see some of the comments. I'm curious if anybody disagrees. This crazy how much of a thing this is. It really is. Here's his retirement announcement. Okay, thank you, guys. I'm going to make sure I give this guy a shout-out who posted this. Man, Mohit Singh, thank you for posting this, sir. No matter how hard you work or how badly you want something, sometimes God has other plans. I wasn't sure if I was ready to give up football, and it has been one of the most challenging decisions I've ever made. But after an incredible 10 years, I'm officially retiring from the NFL. First and foremost, I'd like to thank God for turning my childhood dream into a reality. God blessed me beyond measure. I want to thank my fans who cheered for me and stood by me through the ups and downs. Without you, I wouldn't have a career. I'd also like to thank all the organizations, coaches, and staff that took a chance on me. I'm beyond grateful for the opportunities, and I hope you all knew that I played from the heart and gave my all every day, regardless of the circumstances. To my teammates, I made some everlasting memories with you guys, and it was an honor to share the field with you. To my family, I couldn't have done it without you, without your love and support. You witnessed my physical, mental, and emotional battles on and off the field. Football gave me more than a career. It gave me some lifelong friendships and molded so much of my character. It taught me how vital choices are and how decision making affects you. Football created in me a mindset of relentless pursuit and hard work ethic. Football didn't always love me back, but it will always be my first love. I will forever cherish my time I spent in the NFL. It has indeed been a privilege, just like seasons that come to an end. And it's time for time to enter my next chapter in life. With gratitude and respect, Tay Austin. So that's a really, really, really well-written retirement. Selfishly, I wish he would have put something about West Virginia in there. But at the end of the day, he's retired from the NFL. But, I feel like West Virginia is a part of that journey. It's definitely not the end of the world or this huge deal or anything like that. I'm not making it that. But, he certainly has said a lot about West Virginia over the years and given us our props. So, but just what a career from Tavon. And unfortunately, like I said, it didn't always go as planned with him. I got into a physical fight over him once. A lot of you guys know, I'll tell. Okay. So a lot of you guys know that I had my battles with addiction and everything like that. And what I haven't told some of you is there was a time in my life when my freedom was taken away due to choices I've made. And so you end up in these places, jails, institutions, places like that. And, football, sports is a big deal behind bars. I don't know if anybody knows that, especially in prison. first and foremost, I want to make a preface this by saying I'm not proud of the decisions that made me of somebody that went to prison. And anytime I tell one of these stories, I want it to be either something you can relate to or learn from. For it's not a pity. I don't want anybody to ever think that. But if I can't use my experience, strength, and hope to hopefully help somebody along the way, then what's it all for? So while I was in prison in 2011, a topic came up between another guy and myself. The much more well-known DeAnthony Thomas at Oregon was an electrifying player in his own right. And he and Tavon Austin got compared quite a bit throughout their college careers. And I was really on the Tavon Austin bandwagon, to say the least. And another gentleman who was from Cincinnati, his name, all I know his name by is Trap. So he called himself Trap. And we got into a debate as far as I was concerned. Now, this is where being what I would consider naive to how things are in there kind of didn't go my way. I didn't realize raising my voice. You know how sometimes in an argument you get excited, and you start making your own points. And this guy thought that was aggression. And so we ended up getting into a fight over the silly topic of DeAnthony Thomas versus Tavon Austin, who was better. I wish I could see him today, because I would say I think Tavon won that argument. So, that being said, Tavon is somebody that I've always loved and looked up to. He is definitely on my Mount Rushmore of West Virginia players. And I honestly thought, and this is just how crazy it is, I would take him again. I really think he went in 10 years too early. Tavon Austin went in 10 years too early in the NFL. He did. If he played under Andy Reid today, he would be a top 5 NFL receiver. That's in my opinion. If he had a coach that used him right, he would be a top 5 receiver in the league. He would be a Tyreek Hill type player. That's just how I see it. He's electrifying. He can run by people. If you put the ball in his hands, you can't tackle him in a phone booth. He's been called Houdini more times than I can count. And unfortunately, his career didn't go to task like we thought, right? And it just goes to show you, how good these college players are. You can't project what they're going to be in the NFL. It's just really hard to do. And that's why there are guys that get paid a lot more than I ever will to do that. Because I would still take Tavon Austin, but I do think if he came around, 2020, when offenses really started to change to what the Chiefs do, what the Eagles do now, and other teams in the league, I really do think that he would flourish in those roles. Hey, Leo, so I'm still going to be talking about basketball. I don't want anybody to think that I'm not. But I'm going to be doing it on Locked On West Virginia more often than anything, because I'm going to need all the content I can get to do a 30-minute morning show. I have to think of a way to do a 30-minute show every morning, pre-recorded, guys. It's not live where I can read your comments, react to your questions and answers. And so some days I may have 2 football topics and 1 basketball topic, or 2 basketball topics, 1 football topic, or 3 basketball topics, But, basically it's going to be 8 minutes and the ads that run during those times. So, Locked On West Virginia is a big chance for me. It's also a big opportunity. And I want everybody over here to make sure you're subscribed to Mountaineer Paul Talks Football so that you can help me get that thing off the ground, please. It will be Locked On West Virginia. I just don't know when to convert it yet. I have a meeting tomorrow where I'll answer some of those questions. but sometime within the next week to 10 days, that will be converted. I'll still continue to do football content over there like usual until it happens. And I'll try to give you guys as much warning as possible. But while I've got a couple more people in here, I didn't expect this live to be huge because this is on the wrong channel. But I thought it would be a good time for me to put this out there. You know, I feel like I need to switch this channel up. And Leo, people, everyone, Timothy, Josh, Tosh, Jacob, people like you that are always in here, Jada K, Greg is in here a lot. You know, and anybody else that's listening over on X, if you want to leave a comment down below on the Hoops from the Hills or Mountaineer Paul, at Paul Mountaineer while you're watching this, just tell me, you know, while you're watching this, let me know what you think I should do on this channel going forward. I'll tally it all up, and I really will take into consideration what you guys think, because I don't know at this point. I'm going to need basketball and football on the West Virginia side for Locked On West Virginia. So that's where you're going to come to get both of them and have both in one place. The whole reason this channel was created was so Kuz and I could collaborate and do basketball content. It was so a way for us to be together because we worked well together on screen. So, I could go the Big 12 route. I could cover the Steelers. I could cover, anything. The Seahawks. I don't care. Like I want to do what is going to work. I love talking about sports. West Virginia is my really true love, if I'm going to be honest about it. But I could certainly talk about the Big 12, kind of like another Big 12 related show like Kurt has or Locked On Big 12. And I could talk about West Virginia and then possibly do all the other teams as well. But I need your help, guys. I really do. So if you want to just give me some opinions down below, that would mean a lot. All right. So thank you, Manmohi Singh. I don't know how you say your name, sir, but thank you for posting that. So let's see. Oh, this guy really blew up the chat, didn't he? All right. Let's go see what table it's talking about. See, there's sports. We've got Sports Center. You got Pro Football Focus College, Barstool, Pardon My Take. ESPN itself has it, pretty big deal. Over 1 million people have reacted. Wow. What a bump. That video is getting it. It's already a massive amount of views on Doug's channel. Hayes Fawcett, just a lot of people, Here's some. He even had. He did well in the NFL sometimes too, He really had his times in the league where he did well, but at the end of the day, his college stuff is really where it's at. If you want Tavon Austin highlights, I remember this. This is where he returned to kick off Pat McAfee. Remember this? There's Pat kicking a punt. I'll never forget this play. This is one of the first plays he made in the league. It's like year 1 or year 2, right down the sidelines. I'll never forget that. And Pat, he made Pat flip. That'd be cool if they got him into pro wrestling. You know how good he would be in pro wrestling? Heck yeah, man. There's the Oklahoma game. There's the high school highlights. Hey, there they are. Listen, by Gerald Shelley. Look, his high school highlights are insanely good if you haven't seen them yet. Wonder why he put that. Tavon Austin, 18 days, no cost for returns. Blessing your time with another Tavon Austin highlight. That's cold. Gotcha. Makes sense now. There he is in his Dunbar uniform. So here is his Todd Gurley, your player, college boy. Congratulations, my brother. Thank you for everything, generational and inspirational. Don't know who John Perry is, but I'm sure it's somebody important. Somebody, Tavon retweets him a lot. Former UAB quarterback, offensive coordinator, Baltimore City College High School. Oh, gotcha. So that's somebody Tavon's close to. Pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. Definitely going to miss you, Tavon. Definitely going to miss you. Nick Cyrus. All right. So I have reached out to Tavon. He told me he was going to come on at one point. As far as to promote a documentary that he was planning. He did tell me he would come on. It's been several months ago. You never know how these things are going to happen. Would it be my lifelong dream to interview Tavon Austin? Yes. Do I expect him to do it? Not really. It's just one of those things where I don't see what it, if it benefit him, maybe he would do it. But, it's not like these videos get 100,000 views or anything. I don't know. If a lot of you guys reposted it, it would probably happen. And then it'd be like my Make-A-Wish. That's why I'm here. WV basketball is my favorite. And I get more info at Hoops from the Hills. Well, you're still going to get it, Leo. You're still going to get it. I'm going to cover every single basketball story that there is, as far as that goes. It'll just be over on Locked On West Virginia. So if you're not subscribed over there, I would appreciate if you get over there. Philip, I appreciate this. I've had a lot of people reach out to me today and tell me that. And, man, it means a lot. It really does. A lot of people have reached out to me and told me I did a good job on the Drake Toll interview. I went into that with no expectations, really. Everybody watches Drake and sees how talented he is. He's a super talented guy. And we didn't have time to go over the questions. I knew the general topic, but that was it. So I one thing about me is I'm really good with recall. Excuse me. I just ate earlier. Really good with recall. So I can remember names, stats, and everything. It's like, goodness. Stats like and things like that pretty well. I mean, not to a 100% certainty. I think I even got a couple things wrong watching it back. Like 70% of our revenue isn't. I don't know if it's 70% of our revenue is travel or not. I was just trying to throw a large number out to get the point across. I didn't mean that to sound exact. Somebody had pointed that out to me. So, I don't have the exact number in front of me, but our revenue would be a lot bigger if the travel costs were lower. We all know that. So that's really all the point I was trying to make when I said that. But thank you, Phil, for the compliment, man. It really means a ton. It really does. It gave me a lot of confidence heading into Locked On West Virginia. So now if I can just get my sinuses right, every time I sit down to do this damn show, I can't breathe. And I don't want to get hooked on nasal spray. My dad was hooked on nasal spray, like literally. Like he literally was addicted to it. He had to have it every single day, So I'm never going to do that. Maybe I need to get some strips or something for my nose. I've heard those work pretty good. Then I'd look like a football player without a uniform on with a thing in my nose right here. So, all right, guys. Hope you enjoy the show. I really don't have a whole lot else to talk about. If anybody else doesn't, would appreciate if you like this video. Like I said before you go, don't forget to subscribe to Mountaineer Paul Talks Football going forward. Okay, so I'll explain this one more time here, Leo. Mountaineer Paul Talks Football is going to be Locked On West Virginia now. We're just taking the what I've built already, and we're transforming it into Locked On West Virginia. Okay? So if you're already subscribed there, you're good. It's just going to be on YouTube like normal. We're just changing the name and the structure of the show, right? And they're going to have control of the feed, basically. Like, it's theirs now. I'm taking a big risk, but also I stand to gain a lot more subscribers and a lot more views this way because it's like going public in a way, right? You go public, you get more reach, and I'm going to have a lot more people backing me. And the Locked On name carries a little bit of credit and weight with it. So people who wouldn't have subscribed before may in the future, because I'm not just a random guy on here talking about West Virginia football. Now I work for a company, and there's something to that, right? And then I've got this second show here. I'm still going to have Hoops from the Hills, whatever it gets rebranded as, and I've got to think about that. It's going to take me a couple of days to figure out what I want to make it. I'm afraid to change it too much because I don't want to lose anybody, but at the same time, it's an opportunity for me to just pursue something else, or if I want to, different. Like the show's already monetized, and while I may lose some of you if I go a different route, at least I won't have to spend the 6 months to a year monetizing it again. So that's a big deal. But would you guys watch me if I played video games? I'm just curious. If you're here for West Virginia football and basketball only, and you don't want to watch that kind of stuff, I get it. I'm just asking questions. I'm not saying I'm going to do this or that, but a goal of mine or dream of mine has always been to try to play games on here, like sports games, and also like other games, and see how that would do, because I have a lot of friends that do well with that too. So, but honestly, if I had to guess and say which way it's going to go, I would say probably Big 12 related or just college football related, maybe. But it's really hard to cover. It would be one of those situations where I wouldn't know in depth a lot about any one team except West Virginia if I did college football. So it would be me talking about some bigger stories and trying to build that. Or you go the route of talking just Big 12, like there already is quite a few people doing. So I don't know, as there's a lot to think about. But I would appreciate some ideas in the comment box section underneath. That would mean a lot, because I would like to know which way my people that are already subscribed, which way you're leaning. Hey, Eric, the helmet went out already. It went to, I can't remember now. That's not a bad idea, Eric, the gambling channel thing. I mean, look, I'm up for anything if it works. That's the thing. It's got to have a proven track record to work, and I'll try it. But, it's got to be something I know something about. But generally, though, like the helmet thing, does anybody remember who won the helmet? I can't remember. But I announced it on the show, and I mailed it out to a guy. Oh, yeah, I remember. He's just a regular watcher of the show. I can't remember his name, but if you're in here and you want the helmet, comment below for me. But yeah, somebody won it, Eric, and I even did the little spin live on here and all that. Get Jordan and a couple other guys and watch some old games about doing live show on Saturday night. I would love to get some other people on here, Eric, but it's extremely difficult to get people's schedules are so hard. That's like the hardest thing about collaborating with anybody is everybody has their own life. And since I do this full time, like I'm almost always available. And if a lot of people work or they have families, jobs, and kids, and I don't have all that. So I do this, 40 hours a week. I agree, Timothy. It is a great idea. It is. All right, guys. Well, I just wanted to jump on here and talk about Tavon and give this show some love since we haven't talked much about it in a couple of days. I have to give it some more thought. Maybe it'll stay basketball. Maybe it won't. There's a lot to think about, but I just wanted to throw the idea out there and get on here and talk about Tavon some. So congratulations to Tavon in retirement. He deserves everything he gets going forward. Hopefully his life is great and his kids are awesome and they grow up to be in his image like he wants. I know he wants that. So we're rooting for Tavon, guys, but he retired, so kind of sad at the same time. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Keep coming back as always. My name is Mountaineer Paul. Until next time.